Good evening, everybody, and welcome to TFC Open Mic Season 2, Episode 47. Bounty 4, here we come. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really played much of this bounty. I haven't played any of this bounty, in fact, so... Excuse me. I haven't muted my YouTube. Is that me or is that someone else?
It's not me, because I was on mute.
Who has not done it?
I've done it. Move on.
It's me.
We knew it was.
Yeah, shut it. Right, right, okay, guys. Yeah, so bounty, I haven't played any of this bounty at all. So I hope you guys have got lots of opinions on it.
No, because it's not started yet, mate.
Why have you got Bounty 4 Here We Come as a show title?
Because in those notes I gave you, it's all about Bounty 4. I thought you were going to read them.
I clicked from.
But I'm glad you haven't played Bounty, Liam, because since it hasn't started, it means you're just like us regular guys.
And you're not a hacker.
I'm not doing it anyway.
You have to have a TARDIS.
You threw me with a title. Okay, no worries.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, as in like Bounty 4 Here We Come. So it's on its route.
It's like, yeah, but that's next Friday. It's like almost a whole week away.
We've already started by the time we get to next weekend's open mic, so...
You are very, very well planned out.
I am. I try to think ahead, if I can.
In other words, he couldn't find anything else interesting for this Saturday, so he did that.
Well, you know what, mate? That's actually almost on the nail, because I've actually done nothing at all for 2 days, apart from just chat to people in comms, because there's not a great deal for me to do. There are plenty.
Don't say that, TSM. Don't complain.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong, because the good thing is there's lots of time to catch up, for people to catch up and that sort of stuff, and we'll talk about FM in a minute if you want to, but, you know, anyway, it's not for me to
Oh my God, not FM again.
I was going to say, let's let the FM die.
Please. I think we talked about that to death.
I liked it, but that's just me, anyway.
Well, this is quite a moment for me, because, you know, as many of you know, I mean, I due to work commitments, I have to stay in a hotel like every Saturday and cover maintenance and problems that go wrong. So this is actually the first Saturday I've been able to do an open mic since like June, I think.
Hang on a minute, mate. Okay, you're complaining that you have to go to a hotel every weekend. That's like complaining you eat caviar when everybody else eats at the dustbin.
But listen, it sounds...
And you've got an iPhone 10, you posh git.
Listen, it sounds great, but after the first few nights, you're like, really? Another fucking night, you know? I mean...
That's a Lucy, do you?
No, that's different. That's different. That was more like the 10th night.
Sorry, mate. I'm jumping the bandwagon.
No, but it's nice to be on an open mic and see some of you guys, because obviously only been able to do Tuesday shows, and even then, you know, work commitments is pushing that. But you know, it's nice to be able to see some of you guys on the open mic, even though we do short tonight. So if there's anyone in the YouTube chat that does want to jump in and make fun of me like the rest of them, then please jump on board.
It's always my pleasure, mate. You know that. Like a comedy show.
I'm not going to call you the man, the myth, the legend anymore. I'm just going to call you the absolute shit ice. Right. So now we've managed to waste a good 6 minutes, so we're getting there. So guys, other than me humiliating myself talking about something that isn't actually going on, what's
going on?
What's going on in the game?
What is going on?
Literally, the first time I logged in BP since Tuesday was today, just to repair my dead base, and then start the show. So.
And your FM.
And my FM, yeah. I'll maybe do some FM during the show.
Do it. Share some FM. Let's see you driving your icebreakers, because they're good.
I don't want to show you guys up, right?
I think you should.
And if anything, if I was going to screen share, I'll be driving my subs, because we all know how that will go.
Don't even mention submarines, mate. You haven't built them, in fact. Your submarines are blank, aren't they?
What? Which ones?
Your new ones. Your fangs.
Oh, yeah, I didn't bother with them. I
didn't bother.
I built them dry, I ranked them, and then I just said, bugger that. Just left it. But,
commitment levels, I'm impressed.
Well, as soon as someone said skill hole, I was like, Not
See ya. Where's the blitzer?
Yeah, give me that blitz button back.
By the way, Liam, you took it like a champ on that last show.
Yes, you did.
What? Which one? The BV?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the BV
Yeah.
show quickly. The
Oh
last
man,
one.
all that
Like-
verbal abuse. I mean, that was
You
painful
took that
at
like
some
a
point.
champ.
Well, you know, I felt that it was an honor to actually for them to even invite me because you know the thing is TFC. I kind of fell out with BV, and I don't mind saying that on there. I did kind of fall out with BV when I left BV, and I started TFC because I wanted to create a show. You know, the way I wanted to do it. And BV would, you know, I wanted to take over the BV segment and they wouldn't allow me. So therefore I left and started TFC. And, you know, and so it was kind of bad terms, even though I think all of them are good guys. I mean, I think Price, I think, you know, Fair, Nash, I mean, especially Nash. I mean, I did shows for a couple of years with Nash before Price was even involved, you know, and so there was a lot of history there. And to be invited to the last show was honestly, it was nice. I was really quite glad to be on and say goodbye, and it was actually, I found it quite sad as well, it was kind of like the end of quite a big thing, you know, I felt.
You know what? I hadn't watched one of their shows since this show started, but I watched that one because it was the farewell one. Sorry, yeah. I hold grudges.
There was some hard balls being swung, but you know, I just kept hitting them at the park, and you know, I just ran with it, and no, it was a good laugh. It was a good laugh, and I think, in all fairness, the guys, I don't think they were picking on me or anything like that. I think we were just having a good old laugh. And
well, you know what though? At least they gave credit that this show's went above and beyond what they were doing. They admitted that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But bear in mind, you know, I learned lessons while doing BV. I mean, not learned lessons, but I learned, you know, I was on BV hosting and getting confident and talking on shows, and so that was kind of Liam 99's foundation. Do you know what I mean? And that kind of gave me some knowledge. So I can't, you know, I got to be thankful to them, especially Fair, because he taught me how to stream and stuff as well, and even Jeff Price showed me a little bit how to stream and set up Twitch and stuff. So you know, these people have been friends and shown me things along the way. So you know, and it is sad to see BB go. Regardless of the past or the competition, I think the community there is a good community, and it was a good show, and they'll be missed. That's my honest opinion.
Honestly, though, that show to me, even before this show, that show to me kind of died off in my mind. I didn't like it as much after Nash left, because I liked Nash. He was funny.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you said in the last show, he wasn't serious about it. He was there to present content, but not the technical detail. So he was doing content, you know, that sort of stuff. So, well, yeah.
But when he left, it seemed like it was more negative on that show. He cracked jokes and kept it lighthearted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I think
anyway,
at some point the show became sort of a crusade against Kick's Eye instead of something to help players.
Right.
That's when I personally, and that was before TFC started.
Yeah,
to give an idea, I mean, when Liam joined TFC, not TFC, BV, I actually never watched the show with Price and Liam together, because by that point I wasn't watching BV at all anymore, because it was just nag and whine and nag and
exactly.
People, angry people. And like, okay, what am I getting out of this? How is this making the play better or funnier? And wasn't. So for years, I hadn't watched any show, to be honest. No, none at all. Until Liam started the page, and I joined the page, and then I think I replied to some comments or whatever. And Liam said, hey, have you ever considered doing a show? I'm like, yeah, no. Want to try? I'm like, well, I'll try for a couple episodes and we'll see how that goes. And the rest, as they say, is legend.
Well, I mean, Ren, I've known Ren since like Blackwater days. I mean, we've always known each other, haven't we? And I've always found Ren to be like the level-headed, mature person. Do you know what I mean? Like he always. But you do in posts, and even posted on my wall, Ren would always be quite a level-headed, sensible person. So I thought I needed that touch in the show. But I mean, even like TSM, you started coming on open mics, and I knew then that like TSM was fucking good at what he was doing and was talking sensibly. So Adding TSM to the equation. It took me a couple of weeks to talk him into it, though. You weren't keen on the idea at first, Mark, were you?
I don't do flabber nights, mate. It's about commitment for me. So if you committed, I'll commit. But if you don't commit, I don't.
But the upside of TSM is like if somebody badmouths TFC, he can just blow up their homes.
Yeah.
Roaring and shit. It's great.
Shush.
Are you saying TFC has access to drones with Hellfires?
You always
give us on my job out of it, thank you.
They always get those people in chat or people that message say, "I know where you live," but when TSM says it, he actually does.
Moving on.
Yeah, that's a guy you never want to piss off. Honestly.
No, that's cool.
All right.
Well,
Mark's
listen,
pretty laid back.
no, it was anyway. To close on that, I mean, it was a good show. I had a good laugh, and it was great to see the guys out. And I wish the best for them all. Now BV's gone, I wonder if maybe any of them will move on and try something else. But I wish them the best. I do. So yeah. So guys, BP.
Yeah.
What's going on in BP? Fill me in. Obviously not Bounty.
That's a genuine question. I know that.
Hey, I can tell you, I'm having fun hitting bases with my Singluts.
Huh. Yeah.
That's cool, really a cool fleet. After the raid, I got my first twin blade spotter ready now. Finally, I still haven't used. I just got it done today. So now I'm going to be using Inquisitor, Twin Blade, and 2 slots because I don't have the bus or a 3rd slot. And I'll see what I can do with that.
Mark, actually, TSM, was it me and you that said we weren't going to get the bus that raid?
We sort of did, yeah, but then we just sort of turned up. So.
Did you get it?
Yeah,
I'm not sure,
mate. I always get it. I get everything. You know me. I don't necessarily build it, but I always get the blanks.
Because it's just picking up from what Ren said. Because I mean, it's proved to be quite much more of an important hole than we ever thought it would be. And
I never built it.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, as a retargeting hole, it's fine, but don't worry about it because there's a new special coming out, and missiles will be back in for spotting soon. So.
And we all know you love the missiles, there, Liam.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a mastodon. I love a good mastodon. Me.
It's going to be one of those sort of shows tonight, isn't it? If you want any common sense tonight, just log off.
Isn't it?
Just log off if you want any common sense tonight. It's not going to happen.
yeah. No, I do. I actually do quite like. I tell you what was an amazing raid cycle was the Snowfall campaigns when it was Greta and we had like the Kodiak, Savage Kodiak, the Mastodon. Remember?
Wait. Put up a sandbag, everybody. Start swinging the lamp. Right, go on. It's all right. That's an in-house joke. People that know will know what I mean.
Start swinging the lamp.
Put up a sandbag, swing the lamp. Yeah, the lamp. Yeah. It's all right.
No, I like that raid format too.
Yeah, no, but see the days of the Mastodon creeper fleets coming in behind a tank. I think what was the fleet that everyone was running? It was a Hellhound and Mastodons behind. And it could take just about anything.
You could afford to run a
Hellhound. No, that was the River Hellstrikes. Never mind. I'm mixing things up. Because to me, the best raid cycle in memory to me is the Borbus cycle.
Gore Sabers.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because the Borbus cycle was fun because we had those elite targets that needed 3 different types of fleets, and we could have 2 players from the same alliance in it, and take turns. And if you were bored, we have those Borbus Nexus that you could do with Crusaders or something like that, just for like that special crew or something, just for fun.
Oh yeah, the oh god, what was it? The Elite Mercenaries crew.
Yeah. I still have one. That raid cycle, I remember, I liked it because there was a lot of different things going on. Like you could free up the other Forsaken ships and get points for the rescue, and then get the Elite Mercenaries, and you could hit the Borbus Nexus with 3 other players, and that was quite a challenge. And then you had the targets, some in the map, some in the campaign screen. That raid had everything. It was really cool.
Honestly, I never built a Reaver hull until Hellwreaths.
Mm-hmm. It made you feel good as well, Ren, because you were rescuing a Forsaken person.
I couldn't care less about them. I usually use them as cannon fodder, but
I did the same thing. I just let them all take the flak for me, let them all die, and go and do other things while they were still, taking some of the flak until,
Yeah.
Like the one we at the what was one of the Draconians were fighting was it Draconians versus Reavers? What was that raid cycle?
Oh,
And you can sit at the bottom and just hang out with your subs, just waiting for them to kill each other and go and pick the rest off.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was a fun raid.
Fractured Empires, I think.
Fractured Empires, yeah. And the other one,
the campaign version. The original was called Warzone.
Yeah, that was it. And the other one was where the craziest one was Nick Heath's just mentioned it in chat there, is where you had to go and then the drop down menu and you had to go and find 50 targets and you were just charging over. Anybody seen Anybody seen was the number one thing that was typed in chat? Has anybody seen? It was just and then you see like 4 or 5 people racing a certain direction.
And they all flooded out, didn't they, from like the outpost?
Yeah, it was mental. It was just, I mean, they couldn't do it now. There's too many other stuff on the screen. There's mega holes and
I never
gantries.
Well, and plus there's the cost of developing 50 unique targets. I mean,
did no one enjoy the base hitting targets?
I remember there was a raid when we had like 2-3 bases to hit, and one of them had a proto-nam inside, and I remember using my trashers to get that done.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh God, Thrashers, flipping heck.
Thrasher, they were good, man.
They were good for 2 weeks. They were awesome for 2 weeks.
What was the one that spawned all the little drones that used to come out of you? What was that?
Typhoon.
Typhoon.
Oh, freaking Typhoon raids.
I have never thought I'd see BP at a stage where I would turn around and say I miss typhoons. But here we are.
But UAVs kind of killed them off.
Yeah, that was when they started turning up. I mean, yeah, first UAV.
I remember doing typhoons and just nitpicking the ships from behind with my submarines.
Trying to, yeah.
Going from the corner, yeah, exactly. Just leaving the typhoon without the escorts.
That was horrendous, wasn't it? And all those poor people had stalkers, they couldn't get away. They just like so slow. People trying to go in there with stalker submarines, which were, quite decent, and they had a bit of firepower. But the problem is they turned like pigs and they couldn't run for shit. So, you're like hoping you were going to time out before you. In fact, that raid, I don't think it even timed out. I think it's when you were in there. You were in there. I can't remember, to be honest. But
I tell you what, though, oh heck, the stalkers, they were awesome once they came out with Speed System 3, though.
Once, yeah. They're like they're like fat predators, weren't they? Bless them.
What was that ballistic hull that was like completely OP, and everyone started using it for basing for a little bit?
Crusader?
It looked like a little diamond, a little grey diamond.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. No, it was them. Stingray.
There were 2 of them that were like that.
Stingray.
Oh, Stingray.
My God, that to me, I reckon that was one of the funnest raid holes ever.
But wasn't it so badass because it had lots of countermeasures on it and it was unreactive?
No,
the Stingray was actually like one that had massive firepower, but it was made of paper.
Ballistic firepower and range boost as well for because there was 2 versions of it, wasn't there? And most people were back to mortars, weren't they? The old mortars in the base then, the early ones that was, and they just used to run under fire. By the time they landed, it was gone. Nothing, it was under the mortar fire and disappeared.
It could wipe out guards like in one shot, so it was deadly. They made it super OP, that one. Yeah. God, it's good reminiscing about when BP was fun.
Or it seems fun. Yeah, you look back, mate. People say the Second World War was fun, but I don't think it was.
Right now.
It was fun. I mean, compared to what we've got now, it's Chorville.
Yeah. No, it's not Chorville. That is Kickstarter's developers thinking of ways to make the game more interesting and fun.
Yeah, right? You logged on the last week, haven't you?
Next thing you say, like, guys, we've got this great idea of how we can make the game more interactive. From now on, to enter your base, you're going to have to attack some fleets, and it's just Chorville continuously. The game is just.
But I'll be honest, guys. I mean, I on purpose I put a poll on the TFC page, and I was really shocked how few people chose the option. I'm here to do PvP, and I don't like PvE. Very few people. A lot of people actually chose the options. I don't care about PvP. I want to PvE. And chose the option, I'll do a bit of each, and I'm here to socialize.
Well, I think the game, for me at least, how I feel, the game used to be based purely on PvP, and then Kixeye pushed and forced and squeezed it down to a PvE route for years, and now most of the PvP players have moved on, and what's left in the game is PvE players. That's how I feel.
Well, and part of what I miss, we all complained about spamming the gunboats to protect, but I miss it because there was a ton of interaction between players, and Kixeye had nothing to do with it. You could get out there, you fought to get in somebody's base, because you knew if you got in, you had a chance to kill it, and it was just a ton of interaction between players, and not much between you and Kixeye, and that was when it was its best.
Well, and I think a large part of that as well is because before we could just use anything for anything. Like we could build a ship and we could just go out and do whatever the hell we wanted with it. Whereas now there's like this set of rules that they force us to adhere to, and that's this ship has to only hit this target, and you can't use this weapon on this ship, and there's like this whole set of boundaries, and we're now limited so specifically in what we build and what we use that build for that the freedom of play and choice is gone.
Yeah, and I'm going to say something. I mean, if you're playing the game the day something is released, like a new combo, and oh, okay, this ship came out with that weapon and that special, and they're meant to go together. Now, what I was realizing the other day is like, okay, somebody lands here just now, somebody who's been away from the game for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, whatever. Have you seen how many specials and weapons and hulls we have had in the past year and a half? And again, if you don't go and you read in the forum or videos or whatever, you just try, okay, what goes with what? It's impossible. And in the game, there's absolutely no clue what should be used with what.
Right.
And I'm like, well, that's so obvious. I mean, that the game should provide some sort of, okay, if I go to the shipyard and I pick hull X, it should tell me, oh, this hull, we suggest these weapons and at least 1 or 2 specials that go,
Yeah, we've got that much content that is now rather confusing.
Yeah, there should be some sort of like ship build wizard. Leave the shipyard as is for experienced players who keep up, but there should be some sort of wizard. Oh, I just chose a King's Raid. What goes on it? Oh, here's a list of concussive weapons. You should pick one of these. Oh, here's a list of potential specials. But there's nothing like it. It's like just crazy.
Crazy madness.
And we were having a discussion before the show went live about, oh, you stack up these 5 auras and that aura with these special, with that blah, 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 and you're going to get 400% damage bonus. Right? But just explaining it, I think took TSM 4 or 5 minutes to explain the sequence of things that would lead to that.
And I think most players, they just want to log in and build a ship, put a weapon on it, and go out and shoot stuff. They don't want to sit down and, we're talking about modern day gamers. No one wants to sit down and do 30 minutes of math.
No.
Before.
Not nobody. I mean, there's always Brian, but I mean, I can't say he's the majority.
Yeah. I mean, if players can't understand it, then, how can they expect, Kixeye mustn't. And to be fair, half the time Kixeye don't understand it because they release stuff and then say, oh, didn't realise it did that, I better change that. Oh, hang on a minute. Why is that ship killing that shit? I better change that. So they release stuff and they don't know what it does. And if they don't know what it does, how the hell do they expect us to know what it does?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something I didn't realize until just this week, that you couldn't, multiplayers couldn't go into Forsaken mission targets anymore. I didn't realize that until now.
That's been like that now for what, 2 years?
Has it been that long?
That they killed multiplayer?
Yeah, I was going to help some players just take my 2 Zelos tanks in and, wipe out all
tank for
projectiles. But they did away with that shit.
There's a way to tell that, though, don't you?
Does the target say it?
Yeah, if you hit the target and it turns yellow, you can hit it with someone else. If it turns red, you can only hit it yourself.
Right.
Ah. Okay.
But even on map, when you click on the target, if it allows co-op, it actually says co-op on the information board there.
Alrighty then. I tell you what, though, that double tanks, it works perfect. I 0 damage to the 115s now.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to change that, but I also don't think they intended that to happen. So I'm kind of like, that's too good to be true. Is it going to stay like that? Don't know.
Well, they allowed it to happen, so.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
isn't there some? I did get a sneak peek at some release notes for the upcoming next week, and they did say something about making FM so you can't take generalist holes in.
Really?
Nah, it's this idea. They probably would do that.
Don't give them any ideas.
That just piss off even more people to leave the game.
I would love to see them do that because
I'm just going to start saying around, hey, Liam suggested to Kickside that they should block generalists from the game.
Well, they did that not long back, didn't they, on that other target where they put in that building that stopped generalists hitting it?
In assault targets, yeah.
I can guarantee you that they didn't want you to be hitting them for free. And I can guarantee you that at some point someone in that office has sat and said, hey, how about we make a generalist-specific target and only generalists can hit that and it's worth less points? I can guarantee that conversation's been and had and they're contemplating it, regardless of what I say.
How dare the gamers game our targets?
I know. Yeah.
Now, I tell you what, though, people who do the 115s with the Zelos ballistic ships, I don't see how they could do it. It takes forever. I'd do 1 or 2 115s, and I'd turn the game off. I couldn't do it. It takes forever.
I'll tell you, I see all you guys talking about 2 tanks and this and that. I'm kind of like with TSM on that one. I run my icebreakers through 3 or 4 of them, dock for repairs. Tomorrow I'm going to hit 3-4 more again with icebreakers just because it's so fast and I don't have to think.
It's actually a bit of fun as well. I quite like doing it. The little challenge, like if I can kite that little, that UAV carrier, if I can kite it around, I'm not hitting the cold snap, and just little wins like that make you. And if you make a mistake, you go, oh look, the cold snap fired. Blimmin' heck, I'll do it better next time. That makes a little personal challenge within the target. I'm quite enjoying that bit. Yeah,
I'm just like getting through it fast.
Well, the 3 monos and 2 Zelos tanks, you stack them and it flattens it quick. But not as fast as the icebreakers. But
no, the icebreakers just fly through the target.
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes a target, isn't it, roughly?
Something like that.
And then in the meantime, I have the icebreakers doing the FM like that. I'm driving, and I have Fangtooth out collecting uranium on autopilot. And they can do up to the 75 for 0 damage. They only take some damage on 2 in autopilot.
It's just the Reaver targets for the titanium, man. That's the last raid target, and it is just boring to try to get titanium.
Are you driving?
Well, yeah, my Phoenixes.
Oh, okay. Because I'm autoing them with Skyfires.
Yeah, because I could auto them with Skyfires as well.
What targets are you autoing with them now?
The
lower?
The 85s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can probably do 7 or 8 of them before I have to dock with the gut spew done.
Yeah, I usually go from 0 titanium to full. With
I did it last night exactly. I wasn't empty, but I had like 60k or whatever, and I just kept sending the Skyfire fleet autopilot on 85s until it was full.
Yeah,
man, it's hard for me to auto just to allow myself to auto anything. I can do it. The 85s with my Phoenixes on pretty much insta repair, but driving, of course.
Yeah, the thing is, I want to do many of these TLCs. I finished Forever today, and right now I'm talking to you guys, and I'm doing the Inquisitor Mastery, whatever, second time.
Yeah. Forever,
I have to drive, so as I'm driving there, I'm autoing something else.
Yeah. Forever, I autoed that thing. I just kept on starting it up and just not even going into the map, just letting the Skyfires do everything.
I did all the icebreakers, all the monoliths, the one for the gluttony tokens. The other ones, I'm not even sure I'm going to do.
Yeah, I finished the Gluttony Tokens one before the show, and now I'm doing the Inquisitor one, the Mastery rounds.
Yeah, I've just noticed something there in chat because we were talking about targets and that sort of stuff. Unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the 111 targets, they're the intermediate target, and then they're sort of like the build you into the 115s if you're not doing 103s, the blitz sort of like coining one, but they'll disappear as soon as the raid starts and they won't come back. That's correct. Isn't it?
The 111 will disappear, but is there another one that's going to be gone?
No, just the 111. That's what I'm saying. Because people are saying, "Oh, do the 111," because it's very much like the 115, isn't it? But
yeah, but they won't be here.
They'll be gone. So I mean, the only difference is, and I did a couple of 111s actually just today because I mean my FM's finished, but I did them just to see the difference. And the only difference in damage when I did a 115 as well just seems to be the fact that those two carriers aren't inside that gate. I didn't get any difference in damage around the outside. It was identical.
Aren't there like a few other carriers that are not there too? I think they're like around the perimeter. It has less carriers.
I didn't get any more or less damage though, so I was quite content to be honest.
Yeah, it has the 111 has two carriers in the inside, and
it doesn't.
Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have it. Yeah, it doesn't have the two carriers that are in the interior.
But I was content with that. I must admit.
Yeah.
So it's Yeah, and you know what? It's like Liam said, and that sort of stuff. And it's the ideal scenario for Liam. I mean, you run around the outside, you blitz through the centre, and that sort of stuff. You do 5 or 6, as Remy was saying there, and then you go, right, that's it. I only had 10 minutes tonight, but I've done 4 or 5 targets. I'll do some more tomorrow night. You haven't got to just sit there, and you get that bit out of the way. So I like the fact that there is an option.
That is nice.
I do like that point. And we're sort of getting to normality. I mean, yeah, without going too far into it, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
Which is good. Wow.
I think now it's becoming visible that the way of getting the prizes is actually cool, that you go and pick what you want.
Yeah. So I was thinking before we go into bounty, changing the subject completely and taking it away from FM, as you said, what do we reckon about the escalation weapons that have come out? The 2 different ones, obviously for the sub and for the hunter. Are people going complete and refitting everything, or are they doing parts, or are they doing nothing?
I'm doing 2 to 3 on each ship, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do a partial for the nightmares. Not sure if I'm going to actually go for the wolf's tooth, though.
Yeah, same thing. I think I put 3 or 4 nightmares per fang.
Yeah, I think I went for because that's an overnighter, isn't it? Basically, if you put 2, I think on, then it's
18
done.
hours. 18 hours.
It sort of works quite nice, doesn't it? You do 2 of them, and then the next night you just like log back on again and do a couple more, and then let that go, sort of stuff.
Yep.
You can sort of like do it last thing at night, go to work the next morning, sort of stuff. When you come home from work, and it's all done.
Yes, sir.
So it seems to be working. I've done the same thing as well. So yeah, quite content with that. I'm just hoping we won't have uber powerful subs that have got uber powerful, deflection.
I'm betting on some enemies having charged armor and coming with deflection.
Surely not.
Just what they did last raid.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, just before you change subject here, Sam, I was going to say about FMs, about I don't know if any of you hit the low-level targets, but the 47 upwards has all got a fleet in it that's still an assault fleet that I think they need to look at still getting them out and changing them to little tiny draconian carrier builds.
Which one?
The 47 and upwards.
I'm gonna have a look. Hang on, I'm just going a bit rude to take icebreakers into a 47, but I'll have a look. I'll just park in the side.
Daddy, are you the one that used to be on the BV show every once in a while?
Yeah. I've been on all 3 shows. The only one I haven't been on at the moment is, 2, Breathing of the Coast, and I've been on Crow's Nest.
Okay. Get on with Heffy, you'll love it.
Yeah, Heffy loves me.
Especially when he walks off for a bit and then doesn't talk for half an hour. It's good fun. Like, Heffy? No, it's normally the after show. Or is it, Heffy, have you fell asleep, mate? Why is he not talking to me? Maybe it's just me, I don't know. 47s, I can't see a 47 target anywhere.
It's very hard to find if you're surrounded by high-level bases.
Let me use that special thing called Forsaken Mission Locator.
Use the locator. Actually, I love that locator.
Oh, same. Great.
I can see level 40s and 61s. I can't see any 47s. What
47s are gone. I mean, look at click on the Forsaken mission pill on the top left.
Yeah, I see a 40.
It has a list of targets. The 47 is not even listed there anymore.
All right, I see a 40. Let me go look at a 40, see what that is. I can't share my screen for some reason on this version.
No, the 40, I don't think it's got a fleet in it. The 47 did have, I think they pulled the 47, which I think's still really, but oh well. The 61's got an assault fleet in, the 68 has, and so on right up.
Yeah, so there's the 40. So the 40's got a Citadel, and yeah, it has actually got a Zoe's Rhino in it as well.
Yeah. It's not hard to kill that one, but on the 61 itself, the fleet that comes from there, it's like it comes after the target's finished. You have to wait for the fleet to come and either leave the battle and leave the fleet, or that target will stay on the map all the time, which is a shame.
Okay, so in the 40, Zoe's it's the north side of the turret. So actually, if you've got good splash, you can splash out the Zoe's by hitting the buildings first. So you can go there. Citadels or probably DNXs are probably in a Punisher tank. Looks like it. So low levels can do that.
Yeah, I think they need to pull that fleet though, or sort it out in that 61 because it's quite a tough target even for low level players.
Yeah, so the 40 is reasonable if you go from the south side. That's not too bad. Let me go and find a 60. I'll do that. Go on, you carry on chatting and I'll have a little look.
I've had a go at them all. Up to I think I died on 103 and I tried a 115 other day and I died with me Zealous and 4 monos. Died badly on top corner weight torpedo standies.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there's a little trick to that top corner, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I tried to do the circles what Hefe were on about the night on BP Crib Show and I got totally...
I see. Yeah, so the 61 is like the old raid target. So you go and complete the target, and then the ships come in from the bottom left, don't they? Afterwards, once it's all done.
But they are easy to kill for a good ship. But
yeah, that's an old raid target. That one.
They're an assault. They're an assault fleet, aren't they?
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in a garrison target.
Well, that's the hangover from probably why they thought it was perfectly fine to put assault ships into the FM, because we had it, and actually no one actually complained because a raid is just a random format, but nobody complained about being the assault ships, not that I knew anyway, the assault ships being in a raid garrison
but
target.
I think the concept's not that these are assault ships or not. I think the whole problem with the 115 when it first came out is that most of the damage was coming from ships.
Yes, okay.
And garrison ships that we build, they are primarily made to defend against damage from buildings and some small amount of damage from ships. So it doesn't matter which ships are in there or how they move. It's more like who's doing the bulk of the damage to my ships, because they're better equipped to resist and handle building damage.
Yeah. And also garrison ships are generally static and in a defensive mode, aren't they?
Well, not at this last raid. I mean, they all move.
No, not in the last raid. I don't know why we didn't pick up on that before. I'm not saying...
If you look at them old targets that we used to do, the 65, the 85 and all that, they all had moving ships.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure why we didn't pick up on it before. We should have...
But they always had moving ships. That's what he's saying. I mean, the old 65, the old 85, many years ago in FM, they all had moving ships. They were just a bit slow. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, they either moved or they didn't move. They had either stayed static or moved just a little bit or moved quite a bit.
Exactly. They moved to a certain point and then they stopped because they're primarily to defend the structures.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit better, isn't it now? So.
But I'll tell you what though, what I'm on about though, TSM, is if you auto that 161 with one Zealous, right, you can do that. But with a Skull Zealous, it's 7 minutes repair when you've killed the fleet. But,
yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, yeah.
Yeah, and 12 minutes without a Skull Zealous after the fleet. But it's all the fleet that does the damage. There's nothing in that base at all that can hurt you, really, with a good Zealous build. Except for when the fleet comes on and then it starts to hurt you.
Unless you take another ship in, like what people were doing in the raid in the FM before they changed the targets. They were doing 3 and 4 of one ship and then one single ship that could take a heck of a lot of penetrative damage, and it didn't matter, sort of stuff,
Well, that's true, but what I'm trying to get at is that they changed the classes they made it a garrison target, and they shouldn't have assault ships in there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, hey man, I just need to grab.
Citadels in there, you know what I mean? Sort of thing.
Hey TSM, can I bring up a topic?
Sorry, mate. Yeah, I'll shut up. I'm trying to find the link for the show because somebody wants to come on. So. Oh, I think he's in. It's Venom.
Yeah, go for it, Ren. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to go back over the subject that we were on.
Go on, Ren. Go, mate.
Okay. No, it's just so I asked a question about how Foundry is working right now in game, and that actually started a very cool discussion on the page about what's the experience for new players, right? And Steve, I'm gonna try to say his last name. I hope I say it right. Kernov. I don't know how you pronounce that last W, but he actually started a new account, and he said right now I think he's level 18. And at level 18, so he was able to actually, with the researchable technology and whatnot, he was able to get the Punisher from Tier 1 FM at level 18. Which sounds cool, right?
Yeah.
Until he realized, and then he said, well, here's my problem now. I'm level 18, I got the Punisher, but I can't build it because it takes about 18 million of each resource, and his warehouses can only store 3 million of each.
Oh, wow.
And then he said, and the other problem is my dock, even if I build a Punisher like with basic specials and you know, unless he builds like with thuds or something super lightweight like that, his dock won't fit them. So he said there's a big, how do you say, mismatch between, hey, yeah, I can get this cool ship, the Punisher at level 18, which is amazing, but can't put it in dock, can't have a fleet, and can't build a ship because don't have the resources. And he goes like, it takes weeks now for him. It's going to take weeks for him to upgrade to the point where he can start a ship that requires 18 million resources to build. And while he could in theory use base parts, now he's in that deadlock where he needs to build the Punisher to go get base parts, and he can't build the Punisher because he needs the base parts to upgrade his warehouses, kind of thing, you know. And then he mentioned some basic things that he could use right now are only available once he gets to OP5. Because they need a certain level at OP9, certain lab at level 9, and that lab only goes 9 when the OP goes 5. So anyways, they made the tech available in FM for low levels, but the whole rest of the game progression is still probably code that hasn't been touched in many, many, many years. And so it's all disjointed, and the player experience seems to be very weird.
Yeah, I mean, that's compounded. I must admit, I was just looking in chat there, and Derpy is saying the same thing. He's got a level 40 and in his alliance, and he's having real struggle building anything because the level of resources required, and yet is, you know, to upload the warehouses, you've got to do the OP, and to do the OP, you've got to do a thing. So yeah, you're right. I think probably as we've all raced past those, well, not raced, but as we all incrementally pass those levels of concern, and like you said, tech has been given to people at all sorts of levels, it's actually still unobtainable. Because,
there's a little trick to that though. What you can do is, if you tell this guy who started this level 18 guy that you're on about, you tell him to build his biggest ship possible that he's got using all his res, then fill his res back up, then cancel that ship, it'll overspill his warehouses.
Yeah, you can overstack, can't you? Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing: will the new player know that?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, it's a trick. It's something I don't.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, I'm just saying, you know, like the game experience for new players is disjointed because it's not a natural progression. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. No, and also with the campaigns, they can do nothing for the game either for the low level players.
And then he said, you know, he's level 18, and now he's only going to have access to the first level of Foundry halls when he hits level 30.
Yeah. And campaigns don't start till level, is it level 24 or level?
No. There's some basic campaigns that start at level 15, level 20, level what? There are low level campaigns. But the prizes you get, I mean, some components are cool. Like I think you can get flanks 2, you can get Hail, Storm 1 or 2 or something like that. Speed System 3, I think, or whatever. But the ships are totally useless. I mean, what can you do today with a Greta DNX or a Templar? It's not nothing.
The Templar.
Which is actually a problem, because if somebody wins that and starts building that, they're screwed.
Yeah. And they're not going to have really good weapons to go in it anyway by that level. Or depending on what blueprints are.
Yeah, and I think, I remember, so I think the prank said, he wants to put hardened barrel on his Punisher. But to unlock hardened barrel 3, he needs the advanced lab at level 9, and for that he needs OP5, and it all takes weeks.
Yeah, but even I don't know. Even if they corrected all those issues and made it so you could, I don't even see. The problem isn't so much. I mean, that obviously is a problem, but I mean, is a new player, going to come to this game and say, "Oh, this is a great experience. I've just won this, and now I can sit here and wait 11 days for it to build. Then I'll build another 4, and then I might be able to just about do something to get me something else that then takes 12 days to." I mean, there's regardless of that whole technical issue, there's no fun or enjoyable experience here for any new players to come into. As far as
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. All I know is that the game is out there, on Facebook, on Congregate, and other places. And I mean, some people end up getting started on it. And then I think your question is, will they stay? I don't think so. Because there's really, I mean, I think that the influx of new players is relatively low. So if a new player lands in the sector I am in right now, they won't even find an FM target level 40, because the sector is full of high levels. And on the other hand, if they land on a place full of low levels, it's going to be all dead bases. I mean, a lot of them abandoned bases.
Remember that?
Kind of very hostile for new players out there. That's what I'm trying to say.
I understand it though. Didn't Kixeye say that if that level 40 logs on, he'll get 2 targets put outside his base?
Yeah, when you spawn, you get 1 or 2 targets. If you're not surrounded by other bases spawning targets, because then the game kind of randomizes who gets the target to spawn. So if you're surrounded by high levels, you won't get your targets.
I don't know if you've noticed a little trick with Locator as well. There's only actually 2 targets of each showing. But if you click on one of them, go to that one, send your ship there, when it goes red, you'll actually change that target to another target. So there's only 2 showing, but there's a lot more than that on map.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, that's a good little tip for anybody who didn't know that.
Yeah, there is. Now, in the title, it's 10 minutes too, by the way, just out of interest there. In the title, we did say we were going to talk about bounty. Do you want to get that? Have you got the? I don't know if you got your twin screen showing there. Did you want to get that PDF up and just quickly go to that slide? We can talk about bounty, and also we can talk about the next raid as well, because I've got a little bit on that.
Well, in terms of screen sharing,
if you're full of you're using all your screens, I'll do it on mine. I can't share it, but I can talk about it. So
yeah, if someone, sorry, if I go to screen share, right, I'm gonna have to go full screen, and then I'll only have that on. I won't be able to.
No, it's okay. So bounty kicks off on the 30th, which is 5 days away, isn't it? From now. So that's what, next, when's the 30th? That's a Thursday, so next Thursday. So we've still got the Tuesday. So I take it the notes will come out probably on Tuesday about it to give us the full detail. It's the 4th one, as we know, what's coming up. I'm just trying to build some interest here. That's what I'm trying to do, and then see what people are having to say about it. So it's the 4th one. This time they're bringing in mega ships as well. Okay, so it's about holding in the Nexus. And I think the idea of bringing in the mega ships is to get away from the PvE type, as in, like, let's bring all the PvP stuff together, which a mega ship is a PvP item, obviously once you're in battle, you don't do a great deal apart from watch it. But at least you can join one and actively take part in the PvP experience. So the PvP piece comes together with base hitting. Base defense should get some points this time as well. They've sort of hinted that that's going to come in version 4 of Bounty, or edition 4 of Bounty. And holding these nexuses, for those individuals that are doing Bounty, you will get points. But it'll be the first time that people in the same alliance can assist you with the nexus. They won't get any points, but they can help defend the nexus as well. So, yeah, and to get you on the road for that, then they've changed how you can go about building your really low-level crap, probably mega shit. But level 1 and 2, all the items are now basically just a little bit titanium, and you can chuck them on for free. Although the time still takes 3 days and a bit. But
can I just add something to that, TSM?
Mate? Yeah, of course.
Well, when you're in Bounty, don't you? The thing I don't like about it now that they've added the mega hull is, I don't know whether you're aware, but if you hit your base with a mega, if someone hits your mega hull, and then someone comes out with a fleet and they're bubbled, if they join that battle, their bubble pops on their base. Now I don't know if they're going to do that during.
Yeah, of course they are. That's the conundrum of make your decision up. If you're in an alliance and you go to defend someone's or attack somebody else's mega hull because it's attacking or you want to go and kill somebody else's nexus, then you've got that conundrum, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do I pop my base bubble or not?
Sort of thing.
I don't. It's not for me to decide whether I like it or not. I mean, I've got my own personal opinions, but that's a conundrum for the person in that alliance and also the alliance leader. Is he willing to sacrifice that player's bubble, i.e., their base, if it isn't being fixed up, for the sake of saving the nexus or potentially saving the nexus if he's got the fleet that can do it, sort of stuff? I don't know, but you're either going to have a lot of really happy alliance members or really unhappy alliance members or something in the middle. I don't know. Depends what level mega ships you've got.
I was talking up lines of setting someone up as a draft. You go just hit the mega hull. While they're in your mega hull, someone comes out who's got a bubble. It's the fleet. It's the mega hull with their fleet. They lose the bubble, then you go in and take their bounty again.
It could be a really good thing, or it could make some people really cautious about doing anything. I don't know. Rom, you got a really good mega, mate. What do you think?
Well, I wish I had a better alliance to attach to a nexus so that we'd have a chance of defending it. Right now,
that's also another point. We'll talk about alliances.
I was going to ask, how much bounty are we going to get for a nexus?
Don't know.
And more questions than answers. I will participate. I just hope that the mega doesn't become a detriment.
Well, I already know that a couple of people are going to drop their alliance tags and join other alliances. So they're in a winning alliance that has. They'll be able to hold the nexus because there's a couple of people out there who've got some monster ones, and I know they're all going to group together in the same tag.
Yep, I confirm that's definitely happening for specific players.
Yep, I've already been told about that from more than one source. So, but those things that kept spawning on the sea every 12 hours or not, if you live in the UK, it was every day and a half or whatever it was. But those PvE targets there. If they are trying to wean us off of those sort of stuff and Mega's taking place of it, then please don't make Mega as important in the bounty as what it has been to get those PvE targets. I.e. the base hitting ones that we've been using, buses for and gluts and stuff. Because then base hitting just won't happen because, they'll have to base hit, I suppose, because if you're going to go and defend a Mega, that pops your bubble. So I can sort of get why they're doing that.
So are they? Sorry, Mark, I'm getting confused now. Are you saying the jackpot targets will not spawn?
Well, I don't know where it came from, but someone was of the opinion they want to keep particularly. In fact, they wanted to keep particularly PvP to PvP, and get away from having PvE in any of bounty at all. And the problem is, those base targets that we have around the jackpot targets out in the water are PvE and not PvP.
No, I hope they do away with that in bounty because that just turned bounty into a raid.
Yeah, exactly. So to get rid of those, they were on about then let's put all the PvP content together, which included the mega ships. I don't know. I can't remember who said it, but somebody did.
There's still two sides to that. You've got yes, we want to get away from it being a PvE event to more PvP, but with them 99 specifically, you're lowering the cost for having to do bounty by a huge amount. Hitting
Absolutely.
bases was just, even yourself, you said you spent hundreds of coins trying to get the points.
It just wasn't possible doing bounty, doing base hitting. It just wasn't physically possible for me to do it.
If they don't lower the cost for this bounty and they take away the 99s, it's going to be serious cost just to get anywhere near the points you need. Especially with megas. With megas, the megas are what? Megas are over 100 coins to repair.
Imagine if you had to fix your mega because it just got beaten by a little bit, or it won, but only by a little bit. So you got to go and fix that. You go, well done, you head on to the Nexus, but now you've got the weakest mega in the world, and the next person for the next alliance goes and hits you. You know, so you want to be fixing that thing. Oh, and by the way, your bubbles just popped in your base fleet's dead, your base is also dead, and you're about to lose your bonus from your base anyway. So what do you want to hold on to? Just, I don't know.
Hold on to your dick.
Or do you say, "Oh, do me a favor, go and put a big base defender on my base and guard for me." So then the next person, you know, if we're defending your mega for you, where does it end?
The more I think about it, the more it sounds like this is going to be a major Charlie Foxtrot.
Here's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the concept of bounty. And I'm just talking about the high-level concept, right, of players competing against each other for something. I just find all of those timers of just a few hours over my weekend stressful.
Yep.
That's my whole point. I mean, I work all week, and my weekend is when I want to relax. So even when it's a normal raid, I don't have timers. So, you know, I sit down whenever I have an hour to spare, half an hour to spare. I play a little bit. I score some raid points, and I'm happy, right? I just find the whole thing of, 6-hour drop, 4-hour bubble, 3-hour whatever, jackpot spawn whenever. All those timers, I just find the whole shebang too stressful and not fun at all. So, you know, that's it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I did a chart on the drop rate last time, and the drop rates, I mean, I did post it somewhere, I can't remember what it was, but the drop was obviously the big 99s and that sort of stuff when they came up. And it was, I know they're supposed to be random, but they certainly weren't random for a global game. And when they did come out, even the big alliances were frustrated by the, you know, they did like, flipping heck, I've got to sit on here for hours and hours and hours just to do those. And even they couldn't just hit bases and get away with it, because you get to a stage where there's nothing for you to get any bonus out of someone's target.
And the last day fiasco was also crazy, increasing the limit to 57,000.
I didn't even log on that day.
You know, I mean, yeah, you go out and get some, but whatever you get is available to be taken right back. So it's just,
and I think they did it on purpose, right? To kind of, it was sort of an incentive for people to keep fighting. So because you couldn't protect what you got,
but it worked out the opposite. It worked out completely the opposite. Nobody did anything.
They did
backfired because nobody was doing anything because they knew they couldn't secure anything. So why do it?
They did it at the worst time for base hitting as well, where bases are at that time were just unbelievably difficult. And you needed the King's Writ to get in some of these bases that had huge points. So you were left no option of hitting bases, because the bases that were worth were next to impossible to kill.
Yep.
And there's still the problem of people just being able to go on clubbing baby seals, right? Because the baby seals can't secure bounty. And I have this guy with 30,000 bounty hitting a player with the 500 grand, initial grant. That's a level 50 something that doesn't even know why they're opted in, you know. And how's that cool again?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, bounty, I mean, as you said, I think it was, friend, you know, bounty is one of those things, and I really do think that it's for the, you know, it's not for the average man, and I'll consider myself an average player, you know. But they've always said they'll give you the items, you know, a couple of months later. Well, we should be seeing some King's Writs in the next raid, shouldn't we, if not the one after it?
Yeah, the December raid, I would think, right?
December raid, probably, yeah. We should be able to get
sort
those.
of a 2 month, if you look at how the Twin Blade was re-released, and the Courage was always 2 raids after the bounty they were made available.
And do you know what? If 85 to 95% of us are always 2 months behind the top 5-10%, that'll do for me. You know,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same for me.
I'm okay with that.
I think that my personal opinion is that bounty just isn't for me, and I just.
Liam, what did you and I do with the rages, mate? We were talking about this. When I was on Heffy's last night. We went out, we coined and ranked those rages, and we had crazy fun for about a week. Yeah. And it wasn't it? You know, you said this is the most passionate you felt about the game in probably 4 years or 5 years or something. I remember you saying?
Yeah. I know.
And it was, wasn't it? It was mental. It was a run home from work, jump on, get your fleet, go out and smash anything. You know.
And even the first bounty, you know, I mean, I actually coined the research of the teleport and built a trap, you know, instantly.
Yeah.
The second it came out, as well as coining full fleet of prides and pride flag refit and.
Well, you weren't breakable. Yeah, you weren't broken the whole thing.
A base guard, and I was on top of the game. And
it was just what, $2,000 to do that. Great.
But that's the point. That's the point. Yeah, exactly that. I know you had to come back into the game and catch up and that sort of stuff, and some people are already there. But the point is, as I said, you know, this week earlier on, coin gets you an awful long way. It doesn't get you that last 2%. And there are players, and Venom knows them as well, and as do lots of long-term players, the last 2% of players that are really, really at the top of the game are either doing one or two things. Either they're exceptionally technically well respected because they just know exactly how to build a fleet and drive a fleet, or there's the other ones that go and drive a fleet, build it half decent, but then sit in a bubble until, you know, get an alliance mate to bubble them and then go out and grab somebody else's bubble points and, you know, and do it that way. And that's a bit of rivalry between the big alliances and that stuff. But for me personally, if I'm 2 months behind that top 5 or 10%, that's close enough. I'm not bothered.
Yeah, if there wasn't so many other issues that I had with the game, then I'm sure I would play Bounty and enjoy it. But I'm not playing 2 raids a month. Too much. Yeah, unfortunately for me, I work 7 days a week. I have too much fucking work. Even when I'm not at work, I sometimes get called into work, you know, and I just don't have, for me, a game is something that I go and play and enjoy in my free time. And unfortunately, BP sometimes feels too much like I'm being forced to play to stay competitive. And I want to play it on my terms, not on Kick-Size terms, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's it goes back to the whole timer thing, right? Bounty is just a series of overlapping timers.
I wish they would give you a choice that if you don't want to raid, you could do the bounty but not fall behind. And now you don't have that choice.
Well,
you have to raid.
See, I am in a position right now where I am behind again because, you know, I missed some TLCs. I'm not fully up to speed on FMs because I just don't have the free time to commit as much time as I need to commit to stay current in BP.
To stay up front, yeah, it's a lot of time. It is a lot.
It's a lot of time, and I missed the tech up. So I missed like Speed System 4, and I've missed some really important tech that's come out in the last month or two. So
Speed System 4, you missed that about 4 or 5 years ago, then.
Yeah, and 5 and 6. Yeah, he's missing quite a bit.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. I'm missing the one that come out recently, the tech upgrade. Yeah, 6. Sorry, 6. So yeah, I mean, for me, and see when you start falling behind as well, the game, you look at the game and you feel, I can't build that because I didn't do that, and it's not as appealing when you don't have the right items to do things efficiently. It's not as, you know.
John, that's perfect time. In Venom, talk about your problem with bases. Defending.
Which problem? Defending?
Specials.
Oh, specials. Yeah. It would be just fantastic and lovely of Kixeye to bring out ships which require you to have a special which has not been out for over a year, or the only other option is to spend I spent at least 2,000 coins making a full fleet just to defend myself. When you're put in a position where you need specific tech and they know that you need it but don't give it out, that's a bad situation to be in. It's made a lot of people that I know of just disappear, and myself was very close to doing the exact same because they don't listen, and when they do listen, they're telling you, yes, we'll do something, and just completely ignore it. They've
Venom,
said
what special could you be missing?
Was it you, Venom, who was missing Fam 2 for base defense?
Yep, and I've asked for it repeatedly. They've said they'll put it on a list of what's
Well,
going
it
to
should
go
be in
out.
this bounty then, shouldn't it? I mean,
But it
why not
doesn't.
put it on the low-level ones? It's a PvP item. Let's bung it in as one of the lower prizes in the bounty. It's a perfect place to put it.
And
But it hasn't been offered so far.
No.
For which special?
It's fuel air munitions.
Okay.
Same for rails as well. Rails haven't.
Fuel ammunition
haven't
2.
out.
Yeah, fuel air
Some of the base relevant stuff.
And I
So
think it was offered only once, ever, right?
As far as I know, though I think it was offered last time at Christmas. So Christmas last year. That was when it came out. And it hasn't been out since. And they know that players need it. And they've said that they're putting it on a list months ago. But they'll never... It makes them more money keeping it out than if they put it out in a raid or bounty. That's all it is.
It keeps basically how I see it is it keeps the farms being farms. You know?
It keeps some of the good players as farms.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but Venom, I understand your plight, but couldn't it also be considered an equalizer?
How's it
I mean,
equalizing?
it makes some of the upper level bases more attackable.
No, it makes some of the upper level bases farms.
Yeah,
It doesn't make.
basically.
I put it in context. I went from being able to sit over 600 medals perfectly fine, to being a farm in one day.
Mhm.
And
Well, but it happens to more than just you. It happens to a lot of people.
oh, it happens to a lot of people.
So
Well, that's
I
what
have
the
something.
case, and there are plenty of frustrated players.
Wait, guys. It is an equalizer in my way of thinking because I have something you don't. You have something that I don't. I've been looking for the number 4 missile armor for a base forever. Never come back. I've been looking for it since the raid after it came out, and I couldn't get it.
You mean
I had to make a
D4M?
choice. Yeah, D4
D4M?
because it was on one side or the other, and I had to have something that was opposite it, so I skipped it. And I haven't had an opportunity to get it since then.
Yeah, but right now that's a.
But it's the
pretty
same
old.
thing. Damn it, Daniel, it's the same thing. It doesn't make any difference whether it's what he's looking for or what I'm looking for. It's an equalizer of sorts. 6 months ago, it was quite nice to have. Now you don't have to have it. And the same thing for him with fuel air munitions too.
Right.
It's an equalizer. If you miss it, you're gonna pay for it.
But it'd be nice if things did come around at least once every 6 months. So if you do miss it, you do get an opportunity. It's let's go back to the Trident scenario, and fixing it with a new countermeasure doesn't fix the fact that Tridents aren't available.
Right.
It just means that something's moved on, but some people still want that blueprint.
But the Tridents were made available at least once in the past 6 months. That's the difference.
Yeah.
But
part of what Venom was saying was he was able to get 600 medals and hold on to them readily. Now that he doesn't have that special, people can hit him back.
Well, he is back.
It's
Look,
not-
the
hold
point
on,
is,
hold
it's the
on.
fact that
It's not that people can hit back that's an issue. It's the fact that you miss one item and you instantly become a farm. Instantly.
Right?
That's the difference between missing an item which you may want but isn't essential is huge.
Venom, do you have people you farm?
Do I have people I farm?
Yeah,
Of
do you have
course.
people you farm regularly?
Not regularly, no. I don't farm.
I don't like killing the same person over and over and over.
I
No.
don't, but there are lots of guys out there. My point was, at least now, since he doesn't have it, if they participated and won the writ, they have an opportunity to attack him, whereas before, if he had every single thing in the game possible, they couldn't hit him.
No, that's again, it's not specifically true. The problem isn't that having the special will make it impossible to hit back. The problem is missing the special makes the base a farm. or you have to spend a huge amount of money.
Basically, the disparity between the two things is like the haves and have-nots. Basically, if you don't have this, you are a farm. If you do have it, you're not a farm. That's the way it goes.
Yeah,
that's the way this game has been since the dawn.
Right,
of
since the beginning. So why would we expect them to cater? Well, never mind.
Well, I think it's going to change that when if in Bounty, let's say for an example, they put in the best defender that we've ever seen. Now the halves are going to have a defender as well as an attacking fleet. So you're going to be able to not get in their base, and they're going to smash you to hell every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's my point of view on if they do the, because they did that poll, didn't they? Do you want a defender fleet or do you want another conqueror hull? We all plumped for defender, I think, didn't we?
Heck, I'm not sure I have that D4M, that armor.
No, that one has been missing from the game like for well over a year since it was off. D4M and D4X both, I think.
Yeah, I've been wanting lockdown rockets and cryo battery for the longest time.
It's an equalizer. That's the only excuse for it to not be released. Is it's an equalizer. Not everybody could get the King's Writ the first time around, so.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I don't have it either.
I didn't. I refused to do the bounty though.
Yeah.
Well, so that's my point, guys. I'm not trying to say that Venom shouldn't have it. I wish that he did have it. I wish I had D4M, but I see it again strictly as an equalizer. Otherwise, everything would be available to everybody, and it would go strictly to the massive coiners to be at the top of the list, which they're typically going to be there anyway.
But what if you were a massive coin? Well, the problem with that is that if you're a massive coiner and you miss one piece of tech that's vital,
what I just said.
You're being
it's
farmed.
An equalizer.
Yeah,
right.
but what I'm saying is if this massive corner is getting farmed by people that have the King's Writ, all of a sudden, he wants to quit the game, and that's lost revenue from kicks, right?
That's coming from two different perspectives. I think Rum's going on about it like from a player's perspective. Oh, everybody misses something, so it's kind of like nobody has all the tools. So at different times during the year, different people will become farms depending on what's the hitting fleet of the month, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying from a business perspective, does it make sense for Kickstarter to piss off a big coiner by not making the required component available and putting that person in a position where they can defend, even if they spend? Then they're going to stop spending.
It's not just the big corners. The first statement I made, going back, is you either become the farm, or you're going to have to spend a lot of money to fix a full fleet. The corner can still do it. There's no problem with the corner fixing their base.
No.
It's just you're going to have to spend. And you're going to have to spend big. Like, the fleet I had to make there from almost scratch was not cheap. Not cheap at all.
No, but it works, doesn't it?
Special. Yes, it works. But it's
so you found a workaround for not having to have the fam, right?
At this point, there's a workaround for almost everything.
Exactly.
To be fair. But
exactly. But the easy measure is what we're missing instead of doing the work to get what we need.
Going back
from a player's standpoint, it's an equalizer. I can't help that you missed it, but since you missed it, I will exploit it.
Yeah, what you're saying is it makes perfect sense. Sure.
What I really should be saying is something which is really old tech, which was out a year ago, which specifically goes with an item, should have went with that item when the new item came out.
Well, but you could say that about everything. Everybody that didn't get a DNX when it came out should have got a DNX when it came out, or it should have been available, which it has been. But we're talking about top of the line tech that you need that we didn't know we were going to need. Hell, I didn't know I was ever going to need D4M.
I made nothing similar to the DNX at all. Nothing similar. You're talking You've got
I'm talking about equality.
an item that's been it happened with the Trident as well. An item that's been put out a while back, and targets change, things change. You need the item again.
Oops, sorry, I do have D4M.
And it's a funny thing because the other day chatting with the game designer, he was talking about these choices they make at Kick Science. Like, well, we've tried first releasing the defensive components required, right, to give an edge to the defender, and he goes like, and then we would notice that the redemption rate for that price would be low because people would go like, I don't need that, I don't really need that, so I'm going to use my rate point for something else. And then when the attacking feature came out and people needed that component, they'd be mad they didn't have it.
Right.
And then they tried the other strategy, which was let me release the attacking component first. So I'm going to create a problem where people are going to go like, how the heck can I defend against that? And then a few weeks later or a month later, we release the defensive component. And then everybody jumps right on it. But then people get mad because they were all farmed for a month. And the people who build the holes get mad because now there's a counter against their hole. So they're kind of like, yeah, we're trying to find the right way of getting that out without getting either this half or that half of the players pissed off.
They can't win that.
They can't win that.
There's no way.
There's no way.
That's the whole thing. I mean, how do you do it, right?
You can't.
No, you can't.
Well, guys, listen. I mean, it's been an interesting convo. I think we are at a point. We're sort of 20 minutes over now. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to look to close the show. But there's been some very interesting topics. It's been interesting to hear you guys bouncing off each other, and hopefully, Kicks are listening, watching, and will pay attention. But anyway, in the meantime, guys, I want to say thank you to all of you for coming on the show tonight. It's been wonderful to see you all and catch up with you all. And thank you to everyone that came and watched the show this evening. It's been great to have you out here on this lovely Saturday evening. Tuesday, I guess we're going to have a fair bit to talk about. We may have some information on Bounty, I hope. The Bounty that I thought was going on right now. And you know, next week I'll be able to actually talk about it properly. I'll be able to confirm with you that I'm definitely not playing it next week.
Yeah, no, you got your wires crossed because I think Bounty now is going on at Oceans at War.
Don't start that.
Okay. Well, if you want to build, right. Okay, guys. Well, listen, we will see you on Tuesday or maybe Wednesday, depending on Kickstarter's release notes and stuff. But most likely Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Keep it extra salty, and we will see you then.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.